Hunt Showdown has more competition now than it ever has, or at least it will soon. The extraction shooter genre is growing. In my first impressions video for the cycle, I draw a line in this newer genre saying that the cycle is a Tarkov-like while also being an extraction shooter. And what I mean by that is the cycle frontier attempts to imitate the systems that are in Escape from Tarkov, whereas Hunt Showdown, also an extraction shooter, does not. And the comments on that video got me thinking. Even though these games aren't the same, they do appeal to the same audience, and that means interesting things for the future of Hunt, potentially good or potentially bad, and we will talk about those things. But first, an extraction shooter is defined by three basic rules. Number one, multiple teams enter a map. Number two, teams compete to find valuable resources within the map. And number three, once resources have been secured or depleted, teams attempt to extract from the map. Within that genre, we of course have Hunt Showdown and Escape from Tarkov, who were the two big ones for the longest time. And now we have the Cycle Frontier, made by Vigor, made by Bohemia Interactive, and soon Marauders, made by Small Impact Games. There may be other indie titles I am skipping over. I'm sure most of you will agree when I say I have a very specific hunt-shaped hole in my heart. And although these other games entering the genre catch my eye, my enjoyment of Hunt is not dying anytime soon. What is interesting to me though is how Crytek will respond to this competition. I mean, haven't we all heard the mantra, competition drives innovation? Escape from Tarkov isn't really my cup of tea, but it does seem to be the biggest inspiration for some of these fledgling games. The Cycle Frontier and Marauders have that same loop. Enter an instance, fill your grid with loot, and try to escape alive. And on top of that, the hardcore aspects of Tarkov limit how much it really competes with Hunt Showdown, but these other Tarkov-inspired games have taken a less hardcore approach. In the Cycle and Marauders, healing is a simple health bar. Ammo types are grouped by size, and you don't need printouts for anything. I think Hunt's unique bounty focus is enough to protect it right now, but both of these gameplay objectives spark a similar heart-pounding, hand-shaking sense of dread and tension. Despite their numerous differences, this is the hallmark feeling that unites all the titles I just mentioned. And so, what that means for Hunt, as much as I love the game, is that players only looking for that feeling of tension rather than the cowboy-style Southern Gothic environment may be pried away by these other options. And what's worse is that Hunt has gone through and is hopefully on the tail end of a rough patch. The Trader Moon event left a lot to be desired. The server stability has recently been less than ideal. Recent patches have introduced legacy and new bugs that border on exploitable or game-breaking. And if you talk to a Crytek developer or community manager, I think they would acknowledge these things, whether they were the result of miscalculations or rushed schedules, or just missteps entirely. I think Crytek is aware of this, that there is some sentiment in the community that we are waiting for either significant new content additions or performance improvements. At the time of writing this, Crytek has teased that the shaft under Kingsnake Mine could be opening soon, which could be an event or an expansion of Dessau, or a tease of more content down the line. In recent dev streams, they have also teased that a new boss is in the works, as well as a new anti-camping mechanic, and most recently a black market system that could be related to the contraband weapons or the stars you earn with summons. I mean, who knows? We are still waiting for that monetization blog too. My point is that the Hunt Showdown community feels like it's in limbo, waiting for these things to come, seeing what the new features are, looking forward to new content. And unfortunately, it is a rough time to stall out because these other games that offer new experiences with some of that same adrenaline pumping action are hot on Crytek's heels. So without a doubt, you will see these other games on the channels of your favorite content creators because they appeal to the same audience. This isn't to be doom and gloom or to mark the end of Hunt Showdown. All indications say that Hunt still has a bright future. The reception to the cycle has been pretty mixed. Marauders hasn't even hit beta phase yet, and every time I even peek at the Tarkov community, it's just a hellscape. As much as PC elitists might scoff, Hunt Showdown is also one of the few extraction shooter games that is also multi-platform. I mean, Vigor is too, but I haven't heard anyone talk about that game in quite some time. And sure, the console version does need some love, but at least it exists. Back to the point, just as new content and mechanics are approaching for Hunt, the competition is on the horizon of the not-so-distant future. Crytek is at an inflection point, where it has a unique identity and atmosphere, but maybe not a unique appeal, at least not forever. So my question for you, the player, the community member, is what should Crytek do to keep you in the game? Are they doing enough to keep you interested, and do these other extraction shooters appeal to you? In my personal experience, nothing feels quite like Hunt Showdown, but I will say Marauders does scratch a similar itch of fun versus intensity. And although I do look forward to the future of Hunt content, and I'm curious about that TV show coming to binge, it has felt pretty slow on the updates as of late. Of course, I'm going to keep playing Hunt because I enjoy it and because this hobby is closely tied to it, but as for the other titles, Escape from Tarkov and Vigor don't really appeal to me. The cycle has at least piqued my interest, and Marauders seems like a long wait yet. But I want to hear your thoughts on this topic. There is so much competition in this space now, and there's only going to be more as more games continue to release. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Be sure to let me know your thoughts down below, and until the next one, goodbye.